Ring around a rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fell down. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Hansel and Gretel, Snow White, they all share one thing in common. The fact that they are all innocent rhymes and stories. But, fellow audience, storytellers, ladies, gentlemen, have you ever wondered that actually these stories are actually originated from a very, very dark historical event in the past? Ladies and gentlemen, fellow storytellers, I welcome you all to the unsettling origins of nursery rhymes, and welcome again to the beloved, the dark history of your beloved tales. Allow me to begin with the unsettling origins of nursery rhymes. Allow me to take one example that I sang early on just now with my harmonious voice just now. Ring Around the Rosy. Ring Around the Rosy was actually based on the bubonic plague, also known as the Great Black Plague, in London 1665. Now, let us relate the rhyme and the meaning behind it. First of all, ring around the rosy. The word rosy here refers to a symptom back then, which is rashes. More specifically, these black spots here on this patient's body. Followed by pocket full of posies. Back then, there wasn't a cure for this virus. So what they did was, they stuffed these posy flowers into their pockets to shield them away from this virus. But they will also smell good. Why? It's flowers, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now looked at the first half of the rhyme. Let us look at the second half. Ashes, ashes. Did you know why this was labeled as one of the deadliest plagues back in history? It was caused due to the fact that in the span of a week, over 8,000 people died from the disease, and slowly climbed up to 100,000 deaths in a year. This was recorded as one of the most murderous plagues back then. But what did they do with all those bodies? Imagine on the streets, there's dead bodies. In a meeting room, there's dead bodies. So what did they do? They couldn't bury them due to the fact that there was more dead bodies compared to people living. So what they did was, they gathered all the dead bodies in one spot and set them on the flame. Also known as cremate. Next, all fell down, meaning death. I hope you enjoyed your appetizer. Let us now go to the entree. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you again to the dark history behind your beloved tales. But before we go to that topic, let us give credit to the creators, the fathers of these grim versions of our beloved tales. Introducing to you the Grimm brothers. The Grimm brothers were actually law students. They weren't literature students, but they told multiple stories. These stories, they are mostly universally known for collecting over 400 folklore and the stories, and reiterated to the stories we know of today. Let's look at one of their masterpieces back in those days. Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel was actually based on the Great Famine. The Great Famine happened when a huge flood destroyed all the crops of the land, causing insufficient food for the people. But what do you do when you have no food? Back then, it was quite a trend to have multiple and lots of children. I think we all know where I'm going with this. Given up to desperation, they had to commit to cannibalism. Like that. They had to have their children for lunch, breakfast, and dinner if they wanted to survive. But in the Hansel and Gretel story, it was told that there was a witch. Correct? Where did the old witch in the story came from? Remember the witch that came out of the woods in the gingerbread house? Where did the witch come from? The witch was actually a political excuse. Can you imagine your country being known for cannibalism? Would you want to take a nice vacation there? Of course not. I wouldn't want to get eaten when I go on holiday. So what they did was, anyone that was over the age of 50, old woman, or anyone that practices any religion, you are labeled as a witch. And as punishment, you are burned to the stakes. Last but not least, it is important for us to bring our points together. We have delved into the depths of uncertain origins, uncertain nursery rhymes. We have trekked through the treacherous path of dark historic beloved stories. For everyone here, always remember, the stories that we all have learned today on the past moments, it is all just a reiteration and a symbol of humanity's past struggles and challenges. No matter the story, good or bad, happy or sad, they always have the same ending, the end.
Minutes, 39 seconds. Which bit? 1 minute,